pleasure today to spend time and have a conversation with a celebrity couple, which is Anindya Basu and Madhushree Roy Basu. Welcome, guys.
Thank you so much for having us, Mandeep. We are really, really happy.
I will
Thank you,
tell.
Mandeep. It is really an honor to be featured and to speak in this forum. It has all been women throughout, and I've been feeling jealous sitting in the sidelines that when will I get, it's like a coffee with Karan for all women that you are doing almost. I can see that very soon. I wish some OTT picks it up.
No. I just wanted to tell you that Madhushree was one of the first few Wonder Womens that we had. And when she said that she was a food stylist and food curator and her husband this, and then she obviously mentioned about being, being you guys being founders of Pikturenama. At that time, people said food stylist, ye kya hota hai? And then your pictures came and we just saw that and we went, ooh, ah, over those strawberry things she made and the different Bengali foods and everything else. So I think your Instagram is one of the most beautiful things to wake up to. At nights, I hate it because at the time that you're trying to just go without food, you see your pictures and it's really good. But I wanted to tell you that it was fantastic starting the year and seeing the red carpet of the top 30 chef awards, and you were there as the jury. So I wanted to first ask with you that how was it being chosen as part of the jury in India's, food superstars and everything? How was that experience for you?
Uh, when I attended the first meeting, being invited by Mr. V. Sangvi, I had no idea where I was heading to, right? But since Mr. Sangvi had called, he had come to Calcutta a couple of weeks before that, and he said that I may need you, I will get in touch with you.
And this we're talking about 2 years back.
2 years back, the first
Before
meeting when
pandemic.
it happened, we didn't know what was happening. There was a mail and the ticket was sent, and we traveled. Once I entered that room, and after that entire day, uh, I realized that this is a space, this is a place where I want to be. This is the ecosystem I want to be. This is the roof under which I perhaps want to wake up every day, right? Very, very serious food related discussion, right? Going beyond the food which is served on the table and doing a back regression analysis in terms of the sourcing, in terms of from where it is coming, what thought process has gone behind it. The people who are cooking, their stories, everything was being captured, and was the effort was to capture all of them, right? Madhushree came and joined a little time later.
I joined a bit later. I joined from the time when it was our first our meet at Indian Accident Delhi. And Mr. Sangvi said that you cannot miss this. Manish would be cooking himself. And we went for the meet, and then we interacted with Chef Manish Mehrotra. I mean, he's just a great and such a humble man. Uh, so, and then you get to interact with, we are a group of 40 people from across the country, the best of the mind in the food industry. They're all getting together under one roof, talking about food, decoding food, and the hands that make the food. So the importance of this body, it's called Culinary Culture.
Okay.
So let me give you a little brief about it. Culinary Culture has been founded by Mr. Sangvi and Mr. Sameer Sen.
Mhm.
And this is sort of an answer to Michelin in India.
Okay.
Now, we don't have Michelin in India, but then we thought that we need to come up with a rating system
Mhm.
where you actually award the hands that make the food and not the restaurant.
Okay.
And also, we've got to be so the first most important thing was that we've got to be very, very stringent about awarding. You just can't give it because you like the food. There has to be a reason behind why you like the food, why the food is good. So there was so many different parameters where we had to judge the food. It was a proud moment for us that we were picked from our city, to be judges for this.
So, for an example, consistency cannot be a criteria. Just a consistency cannot be a criteria for any restaurant or any chef to be chosen, right? Consistency is only one of the criteria. So, as we say jokingly, that someone can make consistently bad food also. Consistency is not the criteria, right? The other idea was that there was a strong sense of patriotism which was behind it by Mr. Samir Sen, in terms of that why always we should look forward to a benchmark which is being bestowed upon us, and we cannot come up with our own benchmark from India for the entire world. Today, the way we look at it is that when we are grading the restaurants, right? It's like the one which is at Supreme, we say any part of the world is worth flying down to have one meal at the restaurant.
Wow.
It has to be that
It
good.
has to be that good. Here, it's not very easy to get. We want to make it very coveted one. We want people to really struggle and aspire. It's like at your first concert, if you get a standing ovation, then you have got nothing to look forward to. But if you are in the pipeline, first year you get a grading 4 or 5, and then you aspire to become a grade 3, a grade 2, and grade 1.
But I love the fact that there is so much innovation in the fusion foods and things which are coming after being away for a decade when he came back. That's the one thing I'm loving in the new restaurants, the new age ones. And, people like you are bringing so much more in terms of, because you understand the food, you describe the tastes and things like that, and the way you talk. And I can see that how your followers kind of look forward to how you rate different food and festivals and restaurants and a way to go. But I wanted to definitely ask you that all the culinary gems that you've been meeting and the so-called master chefs and people like that, what have your learnings been after meeting them?
um, there is a human side.
Mm.
There's a human side. I will take up the human side, which will be immense. I can literally write a book on the stories that you have heard. So we have been meeting people who are like, who will make a dream team, who will make a stellar cast for any movies ever being made on food in contemporary days, right? We started with Rohit Ghai, who is again a Michelin star chef, right? We have met Mr. Vinit Bhatia, Azma. I take the liberty of calling her Azma, but because she's a friend, but Azma Khan of Darjeeling Express in London, right? Then Chef Atul Kochar, right? So all these people, when they come in, Manish Mehrotra, definitely, each one, what we see is only the surface, the stories that we have heard sitting in the room. We have had goosebumps. We have
I had tears.
we have had
I have
tears,
cried when I heard the story of Azma Khan. I have cried when I heard the story of Vinit Bhatia.
as well as Atul,
Yeah. I
right?
mean, they are so, I mean, the kind of background they have come from, the kind of struggles that they have had to endure to come at a place where they are today.
So
It's
definitely the
incredible.
underlying DNA of the success, if we speak with them at length, is for everyone who is listening, which has really struck upon us, is hard work. Number two, they believe, and in order to become successful, it's very important for anyone. We have started believing that, to believe that there is enough headspace for each type, for each voice,
Yeah,
for
for
each
every-
style. There is no point of trying to pull someone down, trying to copy someone, or getting insecure about someone reaching a pinnacle before you, right? It's not a 100-meter sprint, but it's a marathon, right?
And you know, the most important thing is that there is no time. You know, you don't have to be young to start something. There is no time. If you want, if you have an idea, if you have a passion, if you want to, if you believe in yourself, you got to start today.
Also, another very, very important part is that you have to reinvent yourself from time to time. Very, very important. You have to
Yeah.
reinvent and be watchful about what is in trend. All of these chefs, they have started at a time when, in terms of food journalism, it was all print, right? From print, now the paradigm has shifted, and these people, it's really praiseworthy that they are adapting quickly to promote and to be there in the game, which is very necessary, by doing all social media themselves, right? You ask them a question, most of the time, most of these chefs, they would
manage their
answer.
own-
They
yeah,
manage
they
their
manage
own
their
stuff.
own handles. Most of them manage their own handles, and what is incredible is that they are all so humble. They are so big. They're so huge. They're known worldwide, and yet they are so humble.
We see that the tenets of growth and value system with which all of us we had grown up, there are times when we have, I'm sure all of us have questioned, right? Are we doing the right thing by sticking to what our own value system? But then there are times of life when life teaches you back that stick to the value system for a longer game plan.
That's true. That's true. No, no, very well said. I think one of the things which you guys are epitomize is the fact that you have totally changed your game. You've reinvented. This is something I say to everyone about Anindya and you, Madhushree, that you from who would have thought an HR person who started would get into business and now into the food world and constantly saying, can I do this? Can I do that? And the
Yeah.
day you guys put up that thing that, listen, my picture is on the billboards of a 5-star hotel, I was so elated. I said, see, such a long way he has come. So I personally think that all of the people who are going to listen to this or watch this, we see this amazing food on tables in all the 5 stars being picturized in their brochures and magazines. These are the people who make it look so amazing. And I was so impressed, and congratulations that you have all the biggies in your pocket and you have worked so hard to develop these relationships with them. So I wanted to actually ask you that what is your advice to people who want to get into client acquisition and then retain those relationships?
Retaining clients.
Okay. I believe in a very simple, two simple things, right? I don't overcomplicate. Is that when we toss a coin, the chances of getting your desired outcome is always 50%, right? So if you toss the coin once and if you don't get your desired outcome, if you stop, you are actually minimizing or limiting your chances of getting your desired outcome. So for me, each client, whenever we approach, I tell Madhushree, remember tossing the coin, remember tossing the coin. We have to keep tossing the coin, right? Taking an analogy from that is that we keep approaching clients, right? um, Take a percentage of rejection, percentage of no response, percentage of they don't have budgets, everything is there. But still, if you don't approach, we have seen clients getting converted in a year's time also. Of late, I have been studying, I have been getting deep into the chart analysis and RSI and stuff like that. No point of chasing a trade, they say, right? If a trade is gone, there are enough trades left in the market. For any beginner, what they do is that if a trade has given a desired outcome, they feel very, very left out. There is a sense of FOMO that I missed out on that. But instead, the time should be spent in identifying more trades. So we have faced rejections. It's not that we have not faced rejections, but then again, it's a part. I don't want, because I won't be able to handle all the work if it comes to me. Rather, whatever comes to me, it was my destiny. We would give 200% to it.
Madhushree, I want you to concentrate on the patience that you have, the hours you put to make it look. I always notice कि किस background में लिया है, किस table mat पे, किस कैसे. And oh my God, the way you showed once that the things which you put across to get the backdrop and all the little things that you do. Oh my God. I am so impressed. Really, bravo. It's so fantastically done. I know this guy clicks it, but you make it look so nice.
Yeah, and it's years of practice now for us. And initially, I used to sit for almost a day to think about a shoot. It comes faster now. Of course, that's because of practice. And that is one thing I say to everybody, that if you want to do something, you've got to keep practicing. If you stop, then you get out of that. And I'm telling you, it has happened with me also, even though, we do it all the time. And still nowadays, if you see, we do more videos. And then when it comes to photographs, we are taking longer because, again, it's a matter of practice.
Yeah.
Whatever you do more. And styling is something, there is no school for styling. Nobody is going to teach you. It's something you have to develop your own style, and it comes over a number of years. You've got to keep looking at beautiful photographs. You've got to keep experimenting. Okay, what will look good with what colors would go with what, how is the food, in what color crockery it would look good. So there are so many aspects to it. And then also Other than that, there are different kinds of styling. So there is a restaurant styling, you know, say a fine dining restaurant will want a certain kind of styling. They want a very neat, they want very clean photographs. They don't want too many props. They want absolutely 100% focus on the food and nothing else, and play of light. That is where a restaurant photo, comes out. Then say it's a cafe, they want the ambience to sort of come into play along with the food. And say it's an editorial, like
Or a
for a cookbook. A
Mm.
cookbook usually is, focus on the food, but at the same time, there has to be that personal touch to it. It should look like, okay, it's the food from your home. It's cooked at home.
Cooking everything in that book that you guys wrote, my God, you had to do it all over again and not just write the recipes. You are something, and I
Yeah.
saw all of them, whichever ones you shared. It was really nice.
So
It is so made so simple.
yeah, so we've done three. I mean, our third book is almost going to it's almost at the end. So the first one that we worked for, we had to do 90 recipes. So we had to, first of all, this book was written by a lady through her life, and she wrote in Bengali in different chits and diaries while she traveled across the world. Her son wanted to print a book for her, you know, as a gift for her mother's birthday, for his mother's birthday, and he gave us all those chits, and they were all in Bengali. So we had to, and they none of them had any measurements. So you know how we write recipes, thoda sa ye dal do, thoda sa wo dal do,
That's
like
true.
that.
मतलब चुटकी भर ये
Yeah. So we had to, first of all, translate the whole thing to English, and then we had to quantify every single thing, and then cook and shoot 90 images.
Wow.
It
Wow.
was an incredible experience. Incredible. The photograph came out beautiful.
I'm sure there are people from other parts of the states of the country who also want their grandma's things done. I wish you knew more languages, or otherwise you will learn to do it through Google. But the fact that you guys do this so well, it's kudos to you. So Anindya Basu, you have made a personal brand of yourself. You are now taking even workshops and photography workshops. So what kind of people are coming for these workshops, and what are you trying to teach them?
What has happened with food coming into prominence into social media, presenting it in a better way and photographing it has become of immense importance for everyone, right? Doesn't matter on what device, but then still people want to click. So I have seen people across walks of life, aspiring photographers, to retired people also who wants to come and join the photograph there to the workshop. They are asking for tips and tricks, and also it's like there are a lot of people who wants to make a career now out of food photography. They find that it's good and something which is aspirational, right? And what I'm trying to teach them is the way I have taught myself. I'm being a self-taught person in terms of food photography. Is a learning is of immense. Learning never stops. You have to keep working on your learning. You always have to consider that your work of yesterday was whatever it is, right? Today you have to create something which is better than what you have done yesterday,
You have
right?
to do some virtual master classes. That would, some of us would sign up for that instantly. It won't be food, but it is, I think, something which everybody wants some tips as to how to, take a better picture of anything that you are trying to do. And I saw that, and I think the pictures with all the participants was really nice. And I think I was very happy that this is how you have to go about it. What next plan for you, both of you, in terms of the coming year? What is it you'd like to do more of, and what is it that you see value coming into Pikturama?
I think right now we are slowly shifting towards storytelling ideas.
Okay.
So recently, I'll tell you, recently we have, when Avartan launched over here. So Avartan is the flagship South Indian modern progressive South Indian cuisine brand of ITC. And the first one was at ITC Chola. And now they have launched in Kolkata as well in ITC Royal Bengal. So we created quite a few reels for them, content, social media content for them, in terms of storytelling, in terms of what the food is. Same with many more clients they're coming up with. They want how their brand should come up or how their brand should look to the audience. So they want that story to be told in terms of in videos, in photographs. So now the focus is completely shifting towards storytelling, and that's where we want to also want our niche also. You know, it's our niche. We were moving towards it.
The evolution
And,
is where we are really enjoying this space, and we want to develop on that. Is that where brands are trusting us to give a brand identity to them, which is a big responsibility. There are a lot of spice companies,
Yeah.
right, who are startups, right? Might be two people, three people, a mother, daughter, they have started spices across different parts of the country, right? Someone in Andhra, someone in Orissa, they have started, but they want the social media presence and the brand identity. We are being trusted upon to craft a story, to say that what, because in spices, it's very important to show the finished product for a viewer. You know that if you're using the spices, if you're using a chettinad masala, what the dish will look like. Make them, the trick is to make them crave for the dish, and you tell them that you can make this if you use this spice. So you show the end product and you show from where it's coming. We are getting into storytelling of that, which is a very important vertical which is coming up. There are a lot of startups who are approaching us, Touchwood, where they want us to partner them in launching and brand storytelling through our
Wow.
work.
Yeah. That sounds good. Anyway, I think I wanted to understand that because I got introduced when we came back from Paris, and you really looked after that trip of ours in Calcutta. And Nanki says, that I fell in love with Bengali food thanks to Anindya and Madhushree, because I don't think she had ever had tasted the way, I mean, the homemade food is different from aunts and uncles and whatever. I make a version of it. So I really loved the fact that you curated that food at that point in time, Madhushree, and we were happened to be there at the right time
Yes.
to taste it. And I hope you don't give up that side of yours, because I know you
No.
don't have time now, but
Pandemic sort of, in between, there wasn't much of an opportunity. But I think things are coming up now. We've got a few offers in hand. Let's see where that goes. But I'd be happy to do pop-ups because, I love cooking. I can cook for hours together and I feel that joy and the thrill when I cook. So yes, I would love
does
to
Mr. Basu
create
still
pop-ups.
stay romantic and sing you those old Hindi songs or no? इसकी जो
Uh,
knowledge है पुराने हिंदी गाना की, ये सॉन्ग ये इसने गाया, उसने म्यूजिक दिया और whatever, oh my god, अनिंद्या वो
it's
मुझे
still there.
तुम्हारा धीरे
It's
धीरे
still there.
मालूम था. When you write a blog, you always bring some relevance of movies
Yeah,
and songs, isn't it?
It's
yeah,
still
it's
there.
still there.
Yeah.
It's still
It's
there.
still there. But also, the personal agenda also on the other hand would be for the years to come is that a book has been, somewhere back of the mind, there have been a lot of requests, and वो छोटी सी एक ख्वाहिश कहीं पर बीच बीच में when you really have time sit down and speak to yourself, वो आ जाता है कि वो वाला पन्ने अभी तक हमने देखा नहीं, which is to write that book, right? Which is still there because we personally want to speak more about Bengali cuisine, the lesser spoken part of Bengali cuisine, which is the Bengali vegetarian cuisine, and to make it popular across India. That's a personal goal which is there, which we every year we keep it on agenda, but everything else, business eats dreams for its breakfast, right? So
Yes. I would love to learn your vegetarian, recipes of Bengali cuisine. I think that is definitely which we all need to learn a lot. And but anyway, healthy cooking is something the agenda for all of us as we get into the new year. And January is dedicated to healthy things for a lot of us in
Okay.
the forum. And I look forward to getting some tips from Madhushree always. I wish you all the best, and I hope you fingers crossed for you guys staying on a roll the way you are, and wish you
Thank
all
you.
the very best. The way you guys have reinvented from corporate life into getting into an area and working hard to stay relevant is fantastic. I'm going to give your your Insta handle and everything in the links below, so that people can see that and can join you and follow you. And if they have any questions, and if they're visiting anywhere in Kolkata, please ask these
Sure.
two where to eat and what to do. All the best. Thank you
Thank
very
you so much.
It's
Thank you.
really an honor to get interviewed by you, and I think by simply speaking at this forum, we feel that this is one of the biggest milestones of this year, where we could speak, where you have spoken to so many illustrious achievers throughout the year. It is really an honor.
I shall keep bringing you back with all the things that feathers that you are adding into your cap. Okay. Bye bye. All the best.
Thank you.
Thanks.